The population of the world is currently almost at 8 billion, and nearly half of the population lives on less than $5.50 a day. Let that number sink in for a bit. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that happened yesterday which triggered something in my brain, and I basically had an epiphany and I was like, wow, this is really fucked up. So I want to talk to you guys about that today. I just got back from the gym and it's a little cold outside. It's starting to turn colder. I'm going to make myself an herbal tea. Then I'm going to sit down and have this discussion with you guys. And I would love to hear your views on this as well. And just like any other video that have been doing for the past few months, I'm also going to relate to my experiences living in the USA versus my experiences living here in Europe. First, we're gonna make that herbal tea to calm my nerves down after that good workout, and then we'll sit down and talk. Yesterday we went out for lunch, and after lunch we strolled around the city for a bit. On our way back home, I saw a row of huge apartment buildings, like super tall apartment buildings, and there were probably about 10 of them in a row, like same kind. And they were pretty run down as well. And that's when it hit me that the amount of people struggling to live on the planet compared to the amount of people that are living somewhat of a stress-free life, to me, it's kind of insane. And the difference between the two, I think it's pretty insane, and sometimes we forget about this. So as you guys know on this channel, if you've been here for a while, that I like to compare my experiences in the USA and now my experiences here in Europe. So it got me thinking how in the USA, many people that have a decent wage are living above their means, not recognizing that the life that they already have is wonderful and great. Instead, they keep chasing after bigger and better and would rather deal with the stress and anxiety that come with it all. Then I thought about my life in the USA, how I grew up and all of the people that have been in and out of my life in California. I thought about how careless I used to be with money, and on the opposite side, how careful I used to be about what image I projected to the outside world. How nearly everyone I have known and still know in California, my circle of friends and family, live a life many would consider luxury. But each one of them, myself included, complain about things that now to me make no sense. I have friends that live in a multi-million-dollar home, but they want to move into a bigger home. I have a friend who lives in a 4-bedroom house with his son, his wife, and now they want a 5-bedroom house. So in case if they have 2 guests at the same time, they will have enough room for them. And I used to never bat an eye to these things until just a few years ago. Living outside of the USA and being away from this life has opened my mind and has opened my eyes. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. And here are things that I think what makes our society, especially in the USA, the way it is today. I think a lot of this in the USA has to do with society. I think from the beginning, society teaches us that status is the path to significant. And because I think it's human nature to want to matter, most of us at some point want to know that our life has meaning and has value, which defines significance. I used to define meaning and value with materialistic possessions, a nice house, a nice car, expensive clothes, fine dining. But living outside of the USA, I've developed a different perception. Now meaning and value to me is about me. It's about how I value my own life, what meaning it brings to me, how my actions reflect the feelings that I feel, and how experiences make for good memories. It's kind of like waking up and not giving a shit about what others think of me or how they perceive me or how they value me. I want to live my life now knowing that I am happy, surrounded by people that make me happy, and sharing some of my experiences online like YouTube, what I'm doing right now. These are the things right now that make me happy. But the society I grew up in the USA, teaches us that in order to be significant, we must gain status. And status comes from who you are and what you have. Money and possessions and power are the markers of status. The thought is the more you have, the more status you are perceived to hold. And therefore, the more significant people believe you are to be. And all of this kind of screws with our psyche, especially in the USA. And that is why people in the USA live at the very top of their income in order to appear to have more status. Even when they are to the point of being broke and are unable to save or invest in their future, they will hold on to those possessions and habits regardless of their mental health, from fear of losing the status that they've built up, fear of becoming insignificant. We live in a consumer-driven society, especially in the USA. We buy everything on credit cards, from chewing gum to wedding rings to fancy cars. Before credit cards and auto loans, you had to save money for a while before you could go out and purchase something expensive. And then came the era of own it now. Credit cards became a standard for buying everything. Buy now and pay later. And with that came a loss for cents for money. When you buy everything like morning coffee at Starbucks to ordering pizza online, you lose sense of money. Managing your spending becomes difficult because there is this disconnect with money. I want it, I got it, and I'll think about it later of how I'm going to pay for it.
I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it.
So people become desensitized from affordability. It's almost as if affordability doesn't even matter. Here are some of the things that an average American will use credit cards on: buying an expensive car, vacation that they otherwise could not afford. A survey showed that an average Starbucks customer, this kind of blew my mind, in the USA spends around $1,500 a year on coffee. First of all, I don't understand why people like Starbucks. There's so much better coffee out there, but that's my personal opinion. So yeah. Anyway, so the next point is fine dining. People in the USA spend more than other nations going out to eat at expensive restaurants with friends and being social with friends, even when they are unable to afford it. They put it on a credit card, it's forgotten, and when the bill comes at the end of the month, it's like, oh shit. Social media is kind of like a drug that a lot of people in the world are addicted to. A 2019 survey showed that 78% of Americans checked their social media accounts at least once a day. And the number of users on social media in the USA is growing daily. I mean, that's probably worldwide. And the funny thing is that social media is now a place where nearly everyone is an ordinary celebrity. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. The more likes and followers you have, the higher the status you think you have. People buy expensive things to post photos and videos to flex. Flexing on social media is not just a trend anymore. It has become a part of life for many.
Not to flex, but I have some Louis Vuitton AirPods. Not to flex, but I have the MCM bait backpack. Not to flex, but I got this $3,000 off-white hoodie. Not to flex, just got a new chain.
But to live this fake life on social media, you need real money and real clothes and real dining experiences. And so the thirst for more never ends. Fortunately for me, with my experience, I feel like I've woken up from that coma of being addicted to social media, being addicted to what society thinks of me. But now my perception has changed. And these are the things I've learned by removing myself, or having the opportunity to remove myself from this toxic culture in the USA. I say the USA, but maybe that's not a correct term. Maybe I should just say California, or even just Southern California, because that is where I've experienced all of this. So for me now, it's a realization that happiness doesn't come from possessions and consumption. It comes from relationships and experiences. And both of those things are not expensive. It really does feel like a blessing to kind of snap out of that and not give a rat's ass about what people think of you. Having to impress others Like literally, it doesn't matter to me anymore. And so for anyone who's watching, who's struggling with this, just know none of your status matters, because we're all gonna fucking die one day, and no one is going to care about your status. No one is going to care about anything, because everyone is too busy to live their life and find your happiness outside of impressing others. And so that is my 2 cents for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.